What is up, guys? We are back. We're doing it again. You guys really liked my ultimate exhaust guide and ranking video for the 8.6. So today we're going to do the same thing, but we're talking about strut bars. So basically what I'll do, I'm taking the top 10 strut bars on the market in terms of popularity, ranking them in terms of design, build quality, aesthetics, price, and then at the end of the video, I'll let you know which one I purchased for my 8.6, and I'll give you my impressions on what it's been like so far driving with it. Spoiler alert, I can barely tell the difference, but that's pretty typical of strut bars. So let's jump right in. First things first, what is a strut bar? Basically, this is another suspension component that aims to add chassis rigidity. So this connects the tops of your strut towers together to more evenly distribute some of that energy between both sides of the vehicle when you're driving. So most sport cars are going to come with some level of strut bar from the factory. You look at Mustangs, you look at AMG cars. A great example, I'll throw a picture up, would be the BMW S55 M3. This generation had a massive carbon fiber brace, like chassis brace between the strut bars. It should be in a museum. Honestly, it's a work of art, but that's a great example. For the 8.6, much like the ND Miata, we have somewhat of a strut bar. It's more of like a triangulation bar that goes from the firewall to our strut towers, but not between the strut towers. So a couple things that I'll be looking for. Number one, design simplicity. You don't want useless components that aren't necessary. You don't want it to be over-engineered. You don't want something that's too expensive, and you want the actual quality of the materials that are used to be top tier. Alrighty, starting off, we're gonna stick with the GR Racing strut bar. This is gonna be a triangulation bar from Gazoo. It comes in right around $535, so you do have to remove the OEM bars connecting the towers to the firewall and then replace them with this triangular piece. So the brackets are all welded on. There's no hardware or anything extra like that. You don't have to deal with bolts that you're gonna have to retighten or readjust or anything like that later on down the road. So this one is available in black or red. Either way, you get the GR logo in the center, in case you forgot that it's a GR product. So I will say there is a cool factor when it comes to having genuine Gazoo Racing parts on your vehicle. Pretty sweet design. I will say I'm sure they've got a great budget for R&D, so I would trust that this is structurally sound. Can't really go wrong with something from Gazoo. So I'm gonna put this in probably B+ or A-. I'm gonna go A tier for now. Might move it later, but yeah, let's start there. Alrighty, up next we got the Perrin strut brace. This one's coming in right around 150 to 170. It's a 3-piece component, so basically you've got your strut bar in either aluminum or carbon fiber. That's connected to these CNC machined aluminum 2-piece feet that cover the ends and allow you to bolt that bar to the top of your towers. So you've got anodized bolts. The bar itself comes in carbon or a variety of powder-coated finishes. They've got some cool colors, red, black. There's like a neon yellow and a pink. The only downside, it doesn't fit with the stock engine cover because it sits so low across the intake manifold. So you'd have to use Perrin's cover, which I don't think looks amazing. I see these on STIs, WRXs quite a bit. So you can throw another 60 bucks on top of that for their engine cover. But outside of that, I think it looks good. Single piece design, no bends, no folds, and pretty minimal hardware as well. So I'm gonna throw this in probably A tier as well. Hate to start off there, but it is definitely up there. Alrighty, up next we got the Grimmspeed strut tower bar. This one comes in right around 130. Really good bar. If you follow Kevin Vo on Driven Media, he has an installation video on his channel for this bar. I'll link it here, but yeah, the bar it's a 1-piece design, right? So the end pieces are actually welded onto the bar itself. They're laser cut and then CNC bent. So pretty stiff. They've got a ton of actual test data on their website as well. Looks like there's an 83% decrease in deflection across those axles during their slalom testing, which is super impressive. Again, this bar is powder coated, so you've got either red or black, and it fits with the OEM engine cover, which is great. This would definitely be in my top 3. I'm gonna throw this in S tier just based on the 1-piece design, the fact that you can get a couple different colors, and that they actually back it up with data on their website. So that is going in S tier here. Up next, we got Blitz, coming in right around 180 bucks. So this is a super lightweight strut bar. It's only about 15 millimeters thick, and it is hollow aluminum, so very lightweight. It's also bent on the sides, so it's gonna be able to, have clearance over that OEM engine cover. It is a 3-piece design though, that's the only thing. So the bar itself attaches to the 2 mounting brackets via screws. I would say that, you know, the hardware is kind of the fault point with a design like this. It's only going to be as strong as its weakest link. So having those screws connecting the bar to the actual mounting brackets is what worries me a little bit. Outside of that, it looks good. They've got a bunch of different colors, and the actual material quality, it looks pretty decent. So I'm gonna throw this one in C tier. I hate to do it, but just based on the design, I'm gonna put it down there for being a 3-piece. Next on the list, we got Beatrush. This is their Type 1 strut tower bar, coming in right around 180 bucks. Pretty lightweight. Again, it's aluminum with an oval pipe attached to some pretty heavy duty looking steel brackets. For some reason, these are only available in gold, but I'm sure it's not everybody's cup of tea. Looks like a pretty easy installation. Obviously, it does fit that stock engine cover. The bar in the middle is bent, so it's got 2 slanted portions on the sides with kind of a plateau in the middle. I'd be interested to see what exactly that does to, you know, the rigidity of this system, just based on design, but can't find any data on their website. Just for the fact that it does look a little bit more heavy duty than the Blitz bar, I'm gonna throw this in B tier. Some of those, you know, mounting points look a little bit better reinforced. And I think it's just, you know, a better looking design overall. The gold's not for me, but we're gonna go with B tier for now. Oh, this next one's a good one. We got the APEXi Dry Carbon Strut Bar. Pretty expensive for a strut bar, coming in at 800 bucks. This is just a single piece strut bar. There's no triangular mounts or anything like that. It's a dry carbon bar attached to billet aluminum mounts. So the bar itself is attached to a little connecting piece, which is then bolted to the rest of that mount. So technically 5 pieces, but just a single bar in total. Not sure why they did that. Generally, any company working with carbon on these parts is gonna know what they're doing. I do wonder if it's really necessary for a piece that's already pretty lightweight to be finished in carbon fiber, but it does look good in the engine bay. I think it only comes in red. I personally wouldn't spend 800 bucks on a carbon strut tower bar, but that's just me. So I'm gonna go B tier for this one. Nothing really wrong with it, just not my cup of tea. Alrighty, I might ruffle some feathers with this next one. We got the Cusco Type OS strut bar coming in again at 180 bucks. Really similar to Blitz, really similar to Beatrush. Another aluminum strut bar. You know, obviously these are super lightweight, they're cheap, they're easy to produce. It's a tubular aluminum design, so they have the end plates that are in Cusco blue, that typical Cusco blue color that you always see. They attach to the bar with hardware. Again, pretty easy installation, really lightweight, and those mounting brackets also attach to every single point on the strut tower, which is nice, as opposed to some of these other ones that just link up to maybe 1 or 2 of the screws on top of that tower. So I will say I do like the design of the end plates, but again, 3-piece connected with hardware that's never gonna be as strong as something that's like welded or uses thicker bolts. So for that reason, I'm gonna go B tier on this one. Again, it's kind of in that same segment as like Beatrush, so we're going B tier. Nameless. Nameless is a company that makes this strut tower bar for the GR86. Basically, they make what looks like a twin tube bar, but it's welded to be a single piece, and then it just splits off on the sides. So there's no endpoints, there's no mounting brackets. For hardware, they have these steel conical cups that mount the bar to the strut top studs. And what those do is they center the brace perfectly on those mounting points as it goes down. The bar also has this small bracket in the middle that's welded on top of the bars that connects them together. So they've got this like brushed aluminum nameplate bolted on, displaying their brand name, which ironically is Nameless. But this is probably one of my favorite bars on the market. I think it's a little bit more expensive, but again, you get that one-piece design that I've been ranting about. You can have it in black or that wrinkle red finish. And I think it looks really good sitting over the top of these engines. Again, it fits with the OEM engine cover, which is awesome. So I'm gonna throw this in S tier. This is an easy S tier for me. I think it looks great. In terms of the actual aesthetic, it definitely punches above its weight in terms of how it looks in the engine bay. All right, since we're on the topic of one-piece designs that look really good, let's take a look at something kind of similar to the Nameless bar, but for 5 times the price. Literally $1,200. This is the Carbing Titanium Strut Bar, and my God, this thing is a work of art. Okay, this is a single piece titanium strut bar. The mounting brackets are welded onto the bar itself, and it's got this beautiful logo in the center. Definitely a statement piece in any engine bay. Okay, they even burn it in 3 different sections, so they give it that almost like neochrome finish that you only really get with titanium. So Carbing is actually a subsidiary of the Okayama family, which is an aftermarket parts manufacturer established in like the 70s. So they've been around for a while, tons of heritage. They specifically focus on like chassis related products. So roll bars, strut bars, you know, this kind of stuff is definitely their thing. So if I could spend $1,200 on literally a strut tower bar, I would 100% be going with this. I think the titanium looks great. It fits over the engine bay, and that stock, you know, engine cover, and the mounting points are obviously very secure. So I would imagine this is a very rigid piece to be throwing in there, and you can't go wrong with burnt titanium. So easy S tier. Alrighty, last but not least, I said I was only doing 10 and I'm gonna stick to that this time. So we got the DC Sports 3-point strut bar for the GR86. Coming in at only $200. Remember, the only other 3-point bar on this list was the actual Gazoo Racing bar, which was like $540. Similar design here. It's made from 3 1/4-inch tubes. They reinforce these with these like gussets that you see all throughout the design. So they've got these like flared out holes to lower the weight but retain as much rigidity as possible, which tells me that they put a lot of, you know, work into R&D. So it's also all welded together, including the mounting brackets. So there's no readjusting or retightening any of your hardware. You can just kind of set it and forget it. It looks like it comes in kind of a gunmetal powder coating too, which I really like. And again, it's got those built-in triangulation bars that mount to the firewall, which are gonna just give you that added rigidity. So I think it's a really good design. I'd like to see, you know, from a technical perspective, how this compares to the GR bar. Just looking at it, I can't imagine it's much worse, and it's less than half the price. So for that reason, this is going in A tier. I think this would look really cool in an engine bay as well. So yeah, let's put it there. Alrighty, that's gonna do it for our list of 10 today. Again, like I said, I try to keep these as objective as possible. So if you disagree with any of my rankings, feel free to let me know in the comments. Also drop any other brands that you guys are running. I'd love to see what else is out there. I've seen a lot of like White Line and Megan Racing for strut tower bars that seem pretty similar to something like maybe a Cusco or a Blitz. Personally ended up going with the Nameless strut tower bar. I'll throw my install video here and a couple shots from the engine bay. Super simple install, probably 10-15 minutes. Again, I got that nice wrinkle red coating. It looks really good sitting over the top of that engine. And the biggest thing that I'm looking for on these is single piece, one piece design, high quality materials, good welds. I think welds are always gonna be stronger than, you know, any extra components. Looking at like hardware, screws, U-joints, a one piece design is always gonna be better than something like that. So that's my line of thinking, but it's been great so far. Steering is really tight, maybe a little bit less body roll and like NVH, but nothing crazy. It's not going to be like night and day difference. So I've been happy with it. I will be putting out another ranking video for some more parts pretty soon here. You guys seem to really like this format. If you haven't checked out my exhaust guide yet, I'll put the link right here. Same format as this, just ranking different catback exhaust systems for the car. I am also coming up on 6 months with the 8.6, so I'll be doing kind of a 6-month ownership review, talking about some things that I've noticed that bug me, and then things that I like about the car as well. So stay tuned for those. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.